If you're about to color a wig for the first time, stop. Because nobody told me these 5 things and I destroyed wigs, I wasted money, and I spent months confused before I was able to figure it out. Number 4 is the one that changed every single thing for me because everyone focuses on the wrong product. The first 2 things are about expectations. Because you're going into your first color expecting a different result, then what happens is you get something completely different. And this is not because you did something wrong, it's just because nobody has actually explained this to you. The first one is different hair reacts to different colors. You see someone post a gorgeous blonde color, you get excited because they have also given you the formula that they used in creating that color. So what you did was you bought the exact product, you mixed it using the exact ratio that they use, and what happened? You're not getting the same result. This is because when it comes to hair, the production of hair is different. So for example, if you're dealing with virgin hair, the way maybe vendor A will process their virgin hair will be different from the way vendor B will process their virgin hair. Also, some hair will catch color very quickly that you need to rinse that color off as soon as possible so that your color doesn't look different. And some hair, it will take so long. And when you're even done washing the color, it's not looking the way that you want it to look. So what I'm trying to explain is different hair, different reaction. Until you understand that color is not just about the formula, it's also about the hair that you're putting it on. You're going to keep being disappointed because the results will always vary. The second one, color is hard, and I need you to hear this right now. It's not your fault. It's not because you're not talented enough. It's not because you're not intelligent enough. The reason behind this is color is hard. And don't be deceived when you see people do it effortlessly on social media. It's because they've practiced a lot. There are a lot of mistakes behind the scene. So when I see people sell formulas, when I see people teach color, I really appreciate that. And honestly, I find it a bit funny if you're trying to learn color and you don't actually want to learn from someone that's actually done it. Because I learned color by myself. I DIY'd a lot of the colors. And I tell you now, I feel like it would have been faster for me if I've actually gone to learn from someone. But it also helped me because I was able to test a lot of things. And in the process of testing, I found out that the best way to learn color is to actually understand formulas. Some people can color just by thinking about one color, mixing this and that, not really understanding like the ratio and stuff like that. But when it comes to color and when it comes to understanding colors that would have minimal mistakes, I promise you, understanding the formula behind it is key. When I say formula, understanding how to balance, understanding how to enhance the color, understanding how to remove a color. And the way to understand this is by using a color map. Once you understand that color map, take your time to learn a color map. I promise you everything gets easy. I plan to do a lot of videos talking about colors and diving into colors, like breaking down the theory side of colors and not just practical, because a lot of people share practical side and that's the easiest side. The more advanced side is understanding the theory side of it. Because once you understand the theory, you can create as many colors as you want. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to talk about color map in detail because that will really help. Both of these comes down to the same thing. Color isn't a recipe that you follow. It's a skill that you actually develop and you need to understand that it does take time to learn. And it's not just about learning, it's also about putting it in practice. But even if you understand all of this, the next mistake will ruin your results even before you start mixing. This one is going to upset some people because a lot of you are doing this right now. And the reason why you're doing this is you think it's a shortcut. It's not a shortcut, it's a sabotage. Stop using box dyes on your wig. I know it's cheap, I know it's tempting, but if you want to be a colorist and understand color, box dyes are not the way to go. You need to understand that box dyes work with a very high peroxide. And if you are trying to preserve the quality of your client's hair, box dye should not be something that you're using on your hair. Let me tell you a story, right? I've always done burgundy color using a different technique that I have been using and I still now use for years. But I saw on TikTok, was it on TikTok or Instagram, where people are sharing about how to use a particular color. I can't remember this color now. I'll probably put a picture up here. I decided to use this and honestly, the way that it ruined my hair, I couldn't believe it. When it comes to me testing colors, I always use like my virgin hair, not bad quality hair, excellent quality hair by the way for virgin hair, but I don't use my raw hair because I don't want to ruin my hair just in case the color doesn't come out the way that I want it. But the way that it ruined the quality of my virgin hair till date, I do not wear that wig. The quality dropped drastically just by following the guideline. And what I've now seen that a lot of people do is that maybe when I'm watching a YouTube channel and then they talk about using that product and then they say, oh yeah, I don't wear the wig anymore, like the wig is old now. The reason why the wig is old now and the reason why the wig doesn't look the best anymore It's because of the products. Using box dyes, using all of this non-professional dyes literally reduces the quality of your hair. You will not see it there and there, but after wearing the wig, maybe after multiple uses, you then realize that the hair is not looking like the way it looked when you first did it. This is because you have used the box dye with the high peroxide. I know some of you are going to say, no, that's not true. In my opinion, never use a box dye. If you're doing this for personal self, that's fine. You can go ahead and use it. But if you want to color professionally, this is not the way to go. Now, number 4 is the one that I said changed every single thing for me. And it's not what you think. When I first started coloring, I thought that the most important part of color is bleach. Get a good bleach and you're going to get a good result. I was completely wrong. And most beginner wig makers or colorists make this exact mistake as well. Your developer matters more than your bleach. Your bleach is just there. It's just a powder that is completely useless without your developer. When you add a developer onto your bleach, it will activate your bleach and it's ready to use. But you can actually use a developer by itself to lift hair without bleach. There are different types of developers. You have your no lift developer, which is like your 6 volume, your 7 volume. You have your 10 volume, you have a 20 volume, you have 30 volume, you have 40 volume. You also have 50 volume, which I don't know. I don't think you should ever use that. And what you need to know that these volumes are not the same thing. As the number goes up, the faster it works, the quicker it lifts. But what you should also know is that the higher the number, the harsher it is on your hair. So this is why I mentioned that I do not use box dyes, because most box dyes are going to use a 30 volume developer, or even I've even seen a box dye that uses 40 volume developer. So for example, if you only need to use 20 volume on the hair to get the result that you're getting, and you're going in with a 40 volume developer, you're just damaging the hair unnecessarily. I also prefer the word that says the slower the lift, the better the result. And that's what I prefer. I will sit there and rather do a double bleach, so which means that I can do a 20 volume now, rinse it off, and go back in again with a 20 volume. I'll rather do that than go in with a 40 volume developer. In my opinion, understanding the developer to use and when to use the developer is the single most important thing you need to learn as a colorist. I actually have a video, and I'm going to link that video at the end of this, where this video breaks down all of the essential products that you need to have in your kit as a colorist. So if you're starting to color and you want to add color into your wig business, these essentials are really important to have, and honestly, you will never not use them. So I'm going to link the video at the end of this one so that you can watch it after you've watched this video. I know you don't want to hear the next one, but this will save you from a lot of mistakes and a lot of headache. Do your strand test. I know it's boring. I hate doing strand tests. I honestly would rather just take chances with a whole week than go in to do a strand test, because I'm thinking I'm just wasting products. I might as well just do it. But what I tell you now is, if you're a beginner, I would advise you to always do a strand test. When I first started, I didn't used to do a strand test. I would just go in and color the wig, and the wig will not turn out the way that I want. And I'm going to go in struggling, taking the color out, rehatting, enhancing, and just at the end of it all, the wig is looking a mess. A strand test will usually take you about 20 minutes. It's better to do that 20 minutes now, so you don't end up spending hours to correct a wig because you didn't get the color that you need to get. Especially if it's a paying customer, honestly, just take your time and do a strand test so that you don't cry afterwards. Because trust me, I have cried. You see, I have cried tears for a color that didn't come out the way it needed to come out. And this color was for a client. Like, I was wailing because I was like, why didn't I just do a strand test? It's better to do a strand test now than waste your time, waste money, waste products on a color, on a wig that you may end up even refunding the client because you're not actually getting the right color. Again, if you're getting into color, you can check out the video that I'm going to link at the end of this video. Okay, that's all for today. I'm so excited to tell you it's day 14 out of 100. Thank you so much for sticking with me on day 14, and I'll see you tomorrow.